and I'm going to paint out the stuff that I don't want down here. And I'm actually going to paint pretty far down because I don't want to pick up any stray pixels that are blue down here by accident. This part I'm not worried about the stuff that's selected up here because I've already got it selected, right? In a different selection we saved earlier. What I'm after is the stuff in and among the trees. So I'm now going to soften the edges of my selection because they're too jagged. Here I'm going to zoom in. You can see they're nice and jagged edge selections. How to soften it? Well, this is grayscale information, right? Where it's white, it's selected. Where it's black, it's not. Where it's gray, it's partially selected. How would I soften the edges of selection? Anybody got an idea? Blur it. Doesn't that soften the edges? Oh yeah. So in Quick Mask, I'm going to blur the Quick Mask. How much? Depends on the resolution of the image, depends on what's selected and what's not. So I may have to try this a couple of different settings. I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. There's other blurs available to you, but Gaussian blur is the one I use all the time. A radius of 7 is overkill. I'm going to try a radius of 0.6. I'm now going to get out of Quick Mask. I'm going to hit Command H again, twice in this case, to hide it. I'm going to hit delete and see how sharp my edges are. Look at the difference now. See the difference? That's what I have now. Let's go to the history palette. I'm going to back up a couple of steps. That's what I had before. Very hard edge, right? So let's go back here to this. Softer edge. Now I have the little bits of the sky in the trees selected, plus part of the sky that's up above. I want to add this, what I have selected right now. I want to add this to what I already had selected earlier. Because I had a good selection of the sky, didn't I? Here's how you do it. Select, save selection, and instead of creating it as a new channel, which would save it as a separate selection, I want to blend the two together. So we go up here to Sky. And look at the options we have. Replace channel. If I select that, the old selection I saved is gone. That channel is completely obliterated. This new selection will replace it. I don't want that, do I? I want to add the two together. I want the little bits in and among the trees added to the sky itself that I selected earlier. And look what we have right here. Add to channel. Can you guess what subtract from channel does? Whatever I have selected now will be subtracted from what I saved earlier, and it will no longer be selected. You know what the intersect does? Just what it says. Where what I had selected earlier and what I have selected now overlap, that'll be the new selection. Only where they overlap. It's not that particularly useful. I use it maybe 3 times, 4 times a year, to be honest. And I do a lot of Photoshop work. It's just not one of those things you run into much. I want to add it to my channel. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit deselect, and I'm now going to load my channel. Select. I haven't saved my document, have I? Really need to do that to save this selection. I'm going to load my selection. I tell it, oh, I want to load sky, and look what I have now. I'm going to hit hide and delete. Notice little bits of blue in and among the tree are now gone. So what did I just do? I made a composite selection. First I selected the sky up above by itself. Painted the clouds in, I keep saying out. Painted the clouds in with white in Quick Mask so they were added to my selection. Save that. I then selected the little bits of blue in among the tree branches and added that to what I already saved. That's technique number 3.
Could you show one more time? How did you?
Oh yeah, I'll run through this whole thing over again.
Okay.
The 3 basic techniques are: 1, make a selection and refine it. 2, save the selection, save the document. Make the selection, save the selection, save the document. You got to do those 3 steps or you haven't saved anything. 3, sometimes on complex selections, it's easier to do it in chunks. Make part of the selection, refine it, save that selection by using the save selection command under the select menu, right there. Go select the other parts you want to add to it, refine that, add it to what you've already saved. All right, I'm going to run through it one more time, real fast. I'm going to ditch this lovely selection I spent all this time on, and I'm going to start completely from scratch. So I have to select the sky and then the bits in and among the tree, right? Well, this brings up an interesting point. The magic wand, with contiguous turned off, selected the sky and the sky in and among the tree branches, right? Well, why not just start with that? Sometimes you want contiguous on because you're selecting a chunk of color and you have the same color elsewhere in the image and you don't want to select it. In this case, I'm going to accidentally, by turning contiguous off, it's going to select part of the lake too. But again, make the selection, refine the selection. It is incredibly rare that you're going to make a selection and not have to refine it afterwards. It does happen. Matter of fact, it'll happen in your own work assignment tonight because I'll show you one time where it actually works that way. So, my tolerance is set to 50. I'm going to come up here with a magic wand tool with nothing selected. Hit Command D if you have your selection hidden. I'm going to click. Hold down my Shift key to add to my selection. Add some more colors. Just keep adding colors until it looks like a good rough selection. And notice now, because I have contiguous turned off, look what it's doing now. Whoop, shouldn't hit that key. Look what it's doing here in the tree. See? Just to check it real quick, I'm going to hit Command H to hide my selection. Again, you usually have to hit it twice. I'm going to hit Delete to see what disappears. I still need more colors here and among the tree, don't I? I need this stuff right here. So Command Z, Command H. Now I can see what I've got selected again. Shift key to add some more. Command H to hide it, delete. Good selection, but too hard edge. See how rough the edges are? I'm going to undo the delete. Go to Quick Mask. I'm going to blur the Quick Mask slightly. If you've run a filter in this session of Photoshop and you haven't quit Photoshop, and you want to use the exact same filter you ran just last time, again, the keyboard shortcut is Command F. That will rerun the last filter again. As a matter of fact, take a look at your filter menu up here. Notice what's listed at the top is the last filter run. Whatever you ran last is the top of the filter menu, and there's a keyboard shortcut for it, Command F. So Command F runs the same Gaussian blur again, because I like that setting. I'm going to get out of Quick Mask mode. I'm going to hide the marching ants, and I'm going to hit delete to see if I like that. That's a good selection. But I got to go clean it up, don't I? Because I don't have the clouds and I just deleted part of the lake. So Command Z to undo this. You're going to be doing that a lot. Back to Quick Mask mode. Now watch this. I'm going to get my polygon lasso. I'm going to go between the skyline where this meets the trees and all the way around. I'm going to fill that area with white so that it's selected right. What's the keyboard shortcut for the fill command? Shift F5. Shift F5, and because white's the last thing I used, I can just hit return in it and it's ready to go. Now I'm going to use again the polygon lasso, and I'm going to go across down here and down. Need to back out of the image a bit. What color am I going to fill this with?
Black.
Black. Shift F5, fill it with black. The bottom area is no longer selected. Get out of Quick Mask mode. Hit Command H to hide my marching ants. Hit delete to see if I like the selection or not. Zoom in, look at the edges. Pretty good, huh? I could drop a new sky in there and it would look completely believable. Of course, I'd have to replace the reflection of the sky in the water too, right? All right. So that's using the Quick Mask mode, using the selection tools within the Quick Mask mode. One thing I want to show you about doing that, I'm going to go back into Quick Mask here. These tools work just fine. The rectangular marquee, the elliptical marquee, the single row, horizontal and vertical, use those rarely. The polygon lasso works just fine. The lasso tool works fine. The magnetic lasso sucks, so don't use it. But the magic wand tool does not behave the way you expect it to here. If you use the magic wand, it will select the Quick Mask. It ignores the image. It can't see the image when it's in Quick Mask mode. It sees black, white, and shades of gray, and that's it. So if I get the Quick Mask, the magic wand tool, and I click down here, oh, it won't let me. Notice the no command right there, circle with a line. They must have changed that in Photoshop, in this version of Photoshop. Before you could use it, it just didn't work. Somebody fixed it, hot dog. Okay, never mind. One thing I need to warn you about, I've been using this software since it came out. Back when you had to buy a scanner to get a copy of Photoshop.